history is full of firsts.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Many of those firsts shaped our way of life. For 70 years, KPRC Channel 2 has been proud to be pioneers in shaping television and Houston history.
In a state the size of Texas, I hope everyone can enjoy
Causing the storms Thursday. Minutes before 9 o'clock, the crew's here telling you.
this is the first time in a long they had 11. Send us some of your pick.
Isn't it good to work for a place that has a sense of history? And indeed it is.
See, taking the president from Spring to College Station, fellows.
If you have something you'd like Channel 2 Investigates to check out, call the tip line at 713-223-TIPS or email investigates@click2houston.com. Channel 2 News begins right now with breaking news.
We are following breaking news from North Harris County. That's where at least 7 people have been injured in a shooting at a flea market.
This is all happening on Airline Drive near West Gulf Bank Road. Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez tonight saying one person has been detained.
Channel 2's Bill Barajas joins us live at that scene now.
So, Bill, any word on how those victims are doing tonight or what may have led up to this?
We're getting a little bit of a mixed story right now. He says apparently he had the gun in his pocket, but right now that doesn't seem to match with the evidence we have. We don't know who he may have been aiming to. There appears to be no connection to the initial male that was more seriously wounded. So at this time, it's still an ongoing investigation.
I saw someone with a gun, but I don't know who it was. Like, I don't know the person. I just saw him having it in his pocket. I asked him if he was involved, and he said no, so I don't know.
And the sheriff says charges in this case are still likely, but it's still too early to tell. They're still trying to figure out whether the man in custody story checks out. Live in North Harris County, Bill Barajas, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
And we will continue to follow all the developments in this breaking news story. As we learn more, we will keep you updated here on air and on our website, click2houston.com, and throughout our social media pages.
Also breaking at this hour, a homicide investigation underway out in Waller County. The sheriff's office is collecting evidence just outside of a home on Winding Way and Forest Circle out in Hockley. While investigators haven't given the details on exactly what happened, they do say that a suspect tried to get away on foot but was later arrested. They're now behind bars with charges pending. Told the Texas Rangers have also been called in to assist with that investigation.
Houston police on the hunt tonight for 2 armed thieves after they ambushed 2 women walking home from a dinner in Rice Village. Those women telling us they were walking to their apartment on Quinby Street last night when they were approached by 2 men who held them at gunpoint while demanding their purses. The women complied, handing over the belongings. A white 4-door vehicle then pulled up. The men jumped in and took off.
Everything felt like it was in slow motion, first of all, because I could still see the guy that was in front of me, you know, what he was wearing, and I could see his hand pulling the gun out, cocking it. So it felt like it was in slow motion.
The thieves got away with more than $270 in cash, a cell phone, and the women's credit cards. Turning now to our weather and the changes we're expecting to see when we wake up in the morning.
Yeah, Channel 2 meteorologist Cambro Marshall making a very special, good and great appearance tonight.
Thank you very much.
Appearance.
Thank you very much. And after a day like today, we had clouds, no sun, but the temperatures were nice, actually.
They were not too bad.
Pretty close to what it should be. Normally it's 68 degrees, and that's about where we were. 68 at Bush, Hobby 67, Galveston 68 degrees. Breezy conditions throughout. We're going to continue to see that tonight. 60s throughout the evening. In fact, tomorrow morning we'll be starting out in the 60s as well. Breezy rain coming in tomorrow. Not a lot of rain, but the rain's going to be there. I call it inconvenient rain. Mid-70s for our highs tomorrow. Then Tuesday, another front comes through, gives us colder air going into Wednesday. Right now, 64 degrees, southeast winds at 11 miles an hour around the area. Low 60s to the north, mid 60s to the south, and the wind is the constant common denominator. 12 miles an hour in Lake Jackson, 17 in Palacios, all from the southeast. That's helping to keep that warm air. Look, it goes from here in Houston all the way up to Dallas. Warm air heading up toward Oklahoma City. Colder air there. We're not going to get really cold temperatures at all as a result of this. All of the rain that's associated with what's going on right now, they've got the colder stuff and the wider variety of rain down to the south. We're on the tail end of this. This is what's going to be sliding through tomorrow. We're going to time that out for you coming up. But in the meantime, the overnight temperature staying really nice and warm, warming up as we go through the morning as well. Look what happens here. The rain chances go up as well. We're going to time that all out for you and take a look at that fabulous Pay the Meteorologist 10-day forecast.
Okay. Remember, you can track the weather anytime by downloading Frank's free forecast weather app. Just search for KPRC in your app store.
Hey, a kind gesture in our area quickly going viral tonight. A mother out in Alvin picking up her daughter's birthday cake only to find out that it's already been paid for by a total stranger. And not only that, that stranger also left behind a note that moved that mother to tears. Channel 2's Marianne Martinez joins us live with this very heartwarming story. Marianne?
Well, Jonathan, the two women involved do not know each other. In fact, the identity of the grieving mom who paid for the birthday cake remains a mystery tonight. When Holly Grimmett went to the grocery store to pick up her daughter's birthday cake Saturday, she got a surprise.
She goes, somebody actually came in and paid for it already. And I said, wait, like somebody that I know, or was it like their grandma or something? And she goes, oh no, they left a note.
The handwritten note left by the stranger says her son would have been 8 years old today. She says she wants to remember her son by doing good to others. Her only request:
cherish your little girl. Hold her in extra tight tonight.
The store described the stranger who bought the cake as a beautiful woman they've never seen before. The mermaid chocolate and vanilla cake was a huge hit at 8-year-old Eva's swim party. Eva is 8, the same age the grieving woman's son would have been.
How could you possibly think of a loss of a child? Like, I don't ever think of losing either one of my babies, ever. I can't imagine life without them. And I can't imagine how this mother must feel. And I would never think to go and do something good.
Holly says she wanted to tell this story so that people become kind to another. She says that in these days, you know, often what is reported is just the negative things that people do, the ways that people hurt each other. And she has decided to pass this on. She went back to the Kroger where this all happened and paid for somebody else's birthday cake. Reporting live, Marianne Martinez, KPRC Channel 2 News.
A beautiful gesture indeed. Marianne, thank you. Looking towards Decision 2020 now. Coming off a win in Nevada, Bernie Sanders made a stop in Houston today for a campaign event. The Democratic presidential candidate holding a rally at the University of Houston this afternoon. That visit coming after several across the Lone Star State, including stops in El Paso and San Antonio. The presidential hopeful addressing his top priorities ahead of the Texas primary March 3rd.
What our agenda is about is an agenda that speaks for working people, black and white and Latino, Native American, Asian American, and tells the billionaire class, frankly, they cannot continue to have it all.
Now, coming up at 10:30, we're going to take a closer look at the field of Democratic presidential hopefuls as Sanders takes the lead as frontrunner and look ahead to Super Tuesday.
Harris County Sheriff's deputies say an argument over loud parties may have led to a drive-by shooting. Investigators say it happened back on January the 25th along Plantation Cove and Katy. Surveillance camera video shows a dark-colored truck pulling up and firing several shots at that home. We're told the owners were upstairs and the bullets came through their windows downstairs. The homeowners told deputies they had recently had an argument argument with their neighbors over loud parties. Deputies say the surveillance video shows the suspect's vehicle park at the neighbor's home shortly before that shooting. No one was seriously injured during the shooting.
Police are investigating after a man was found shot and killed outside of an apartment complex in southwest Houston. Investigators say that man was at a gas station walking to an apartment complex near West Bartell Drive in South Main when a car drove up. Police tell us an argument broke out and a passenger in the vehicle shot at the man several times before taking off. HPD says the victim ran across the street and collapsed in a field near the complex where he later died. A woman remains on life support tonight after she was shot in the head during a drive-by. It happened near Glenmont and Rampart Street in West Houston last night. Houston police are still searching for the shooter.
Several people are looking for new homes tonight after multiple apartments were destroyed in a fire. It happened around 2:30 this morning at an apartment complex along Antoine near West Tidwell. As first responders got to the scene, they tell us they found heavy flames and smoke pouring out of that complex. A total of 8 units were destroyed, something firefighters say could have been much worse.
They got it taken care of. It was kept at one end of the building. The building itself has what we call a flat roof, which kind of helps out as far as keeping it contained to one area.
At least one person was treated for smoke inhalation. Thankfully, no one else was hurt.
New at 10, a strange rescue in southwest Houston. Firefighters racing to save a man who got stuck in a sewer line. This happened near Fondren and South Breezewood. HFD says someone called 911 after they heard a man yelling from the sewer. Several crews rushed to the scene to try to find a way to get him out. Once he was back out, he apparently told first responders he had gone exploring near the bayou and got stuck more than 100 yards into the line.
A California couple now in the hospital after surviving 2 weeks out in the wilderness.
Coming up, we're getting a closer look at their miraculous rescue in the mountains, and we're hearing from their children while the couple recovers.
And pulled from the wreckage, a 20-year-old driver survives that terrifying crash right there. What police say happened before this Jeep landed vertically in front of a McDonald's.
And deadly earthquake in Turkey. A closer look at the damage next on Channel 2 News at 10.
Monday on NBC.
How do you know? How are we supposed to know? How do you know if you can trust your kid's coach?
Touching and kissing young girls.
Continuous sexual abuse of a child.
Say he tried to have sex with 2 children.
A dizzying number of stories about the adults we trust with our kids being revealed as monsters.
We find that a lot of the people that we are investigating are first-time offenders, or at least it's the first time they've been caught. So they don't have any type of criminal history.
What every parent should know before your kid's next practice, Monday at 6.
You're watching Channel 2, Houston's home for news.
At least 9 people have died following an earthquake in Turkey. The 5.7 quake struck near the border with Iran. Dozens were injured in villages and towns in both countries. Officials say more than 1,000 buildings collapsed in southeastern Turkey. Residents launching rescue efforts to find folks trapped beneath the rubble. Crisscrossed by major fault lines, Iran and Turkey are among the most earthquake-prone countries in the world.
Now to the latest in the coronavirus crisis. White House officials expected to ask Congress for emergency funding this week to battle the virus amid growing fears of a much larger outbreak here in the U.S. And that request could reach Capitol Hill as early as tomorrow. This is we're learning about a new area for some cruise passengers exposed to the coronavirus. The Department of Health and Human Services announcing today that an Anniston, Alabama government facility will be used as a quarantine area for some American passengers evacuated from the Diamond Princess out in Japan.
Although passengers who will be here in Anniston did test positive for the coronavirus, at this time they are either symptom-free or experiencing mild flu-like symptoms.
The patients are expected to be transported to that facility next week. Well, already the coronavirus is having a major impact out in Italy. Authorities have announced they are shutting down Venice's famed Carnival events in efforts to stop the spread of the coronavirus. Carnival, which draws tens of thousands of visitors to that area, would have run through Tuesday. Some festival goers, though, weren't convinced that canceling Carnival was a good idea.
Panic is more contagious than the virus, and at this point it's a bit unnecessary, don't you think?
The number of infected people out in Italy has soared to at least 152. That is the largest amount of cases outside of Asia.
A woman who made history in the modeling industry, was an author, and ran a successful restaurant business has died. Barbara Elaine Smith, known professionally as B. Smith, lost her battle with early onset Alzheimer's disease. Her husband announced on Facebook that she died late Saturday at their Long Island home. Smith was the first African-American model to be featured on the cover of Mademoiselle magazine in the 1970s. She also ran 3 restaurants until her diagnosis. B. Smith was 70 years old.
A special tribute for a very special canine, a Utah police dog that was killed in action being buried in a custom coffin. Hondo is 7 years old and has been with the Harriman City's police department. We're told that he had helped with more than 100 arrests, but on February the 13th, he was shot and killed while going after a suspect. As a way to honor him, though, the department asked a local company to paint his casket. It features an image of Hondo along with symbols of his service. A public service for Hondo will take place February the 29th. A man in California in the hospital after police say he drove his Jeep off of the 6th floor of a Santa Monica area parking garage. There you see the end result. When first responders arrived at that scene, they found the destroyed vehicle up against a McDonald's across the street from that garage. Firefighters pulled the 20-year-old driver from the wreckage and quickly rushed him to the hospital. The cause of that crash remains under investigation.
Now to a miracle in California. A couple expected to be released from the hospital tomorrow after an amazing rescue. The pair went missing after going hiking on Valentine's Day. Authorities believe the couple's chances of survival were so slim, they treated the search as a recovery mission. Rick Damigella has a closer look at how the pair managed to beat the odds and survive more than a week in a dense forest.
A miraculous rescue for a couple missing since Valentine's Day. The hikers in their 70s got lost in a dense California forest. More than a week later, following an intense search, rescue crews found them alive.
This is the best possible ending, right? Our parents are scratched up a little bit, and that's minimalizing it.
Carol Kiparski and Ian Irwin both suffered from hypothermia but were able to stay alive. Authorities say Kiparski had lost her shoes and neither had eaten in more than a week. Irwin was in such great spirits he was actually singing as rescuers approached him.
I don't know who this guy is that found them, this a high school student. Thank you. This dog. Good boy.
The couple was last seen February 14th at a vacation rental home in a remote area north of San Francisco.
They went out Valentine's Day to look at the sunset, and it got dark. They took a wrong turn, and they found themselves in trouble, and they kept going.
The couple's sons are revealing new details about how their parents managed to survive this long, saying their mother is an herbalist and their father is a bit of a survivalist.
They know how to find things and eat, so they were eating some part of a fern. I wouldn't know this, but you're able to eat the tip of a fern. They were drinking out of a puddle.
On Thursday, officials changed their effort to a search and recovery mission, believing there was no way the couple could have survived. Their fate changed on Saturday when volunteers searching through dense vegetation heard their voices. I'm Rick Damigella reporting.
Authorities say both were wearing light hiking clothes as the temperatures dropped into the 30s. The massive search, including up to 500 people, helicopters, and canine units.
Hey, listen to this story here. A Pennsylvania pet owner was left horrified after a hawk scooped up her blind and deaf toy poodle.
But amazingly, that dog is back in her arms tonight. So take a look. There's a bunch of dogs there. She tells us one of these was picked up off the back of her porch and carried off. After hours of searching, she began to lose hope after temperatures dropped below freezing overnight. Then she got a call from a nearby animal hospital saying they'd found her pup.
I said, that's impossible. She could not have survived 28 hours in the bitter cold weather in 10-degree weather. This is a 6.5-pound dog. She's blind. She's deaf. She's 16 years old.
Well, turns out the hawk only carried the poor poodle just a few blocks away before dropping her. A neighbor found the dog and took her to the animal hospital.
And we are glad that she's back home with family
sweet.
tonight.
Oh, so
wow,
lucky.
Crazy. You know, we've seen the hawks and the other animals do that while out playing golf. Chris Herron, one of the directors, saw it swoop down on a squirrel, and I'm like, what is going on right now? It freaks me out when it happens.
Lunchtime, yeah. It's snack time, yeah. Those little, They take advantage of
but
them.
a dog.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's a whole nother ball game. Yeah.
Hey, we're starting out with, I call him Baytown Bill. He calls himself that. Not a bad day. Never a bad day to sail. And Bill took advantage of that today. The weather was nice as well. Don't need much of a jacket going on. You see the spotlight up on top of the Williams Tower. You can see the upper levels. We got some hazy conditions, but warm. 64 degrees, southeast winds at 10 miles per hour. And the temperatures around the area are all still on the warm side. Now, tomorrow morning, we're normally about 48 degrees. We're going to start out right about this temperature tomorrow morning. So as you make your plans, step out the back door now, a little bit after we get done, and then you can feel that kind of warmth. That's what we're going to have tomorrow morning. Winds are going to continue to be from the southeast, 10 to 12 miles per hour. We will continue to see that throughout the next day or so until this front makes its way through. And I mean the second front, not the first front. Here's what's happening here. Warm air heading up toward this warm front, area of low pressure circulation there. That's what is going to be the impetus for our front that's going to come through. This is the second front that's going to come through. It's going to come pretty quickly as well. So it's not going to be like 2 days in between. We're talking about one on Monday, one on Tuesday. Upper levels of the atmosphere helping to bring everything from west to east, and we'll continue to see that. Rain to the north. Futurecast model shows the showers that will be associated with our front tomorrow morning. This is 9:15. We'll see some of the earlier showers by 6 or 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, and this pushes on through. But on the backside of that, we see the showers moving off by 11:15 or so. See the clouds still stick around? The clouds will stick around through Monday afternoon, stick around through Tuesday morning, and then the afternoon, it just really pushes on out. The next front pushes on through, and we get clearing skies. This is happening late in the evening on Tuesday. Not enough to even put it on the forecast, really, in terms of the rain amount. So here's what's going to happen here. 76 tomorrow, 72. Then our highs are going to be 54, 60, going to warm back up. This is rodeo time, by the way, so it's going to be very comfortable toward that time of the year. Exact track radar showing the heavier rain that's up to the north now. We are on the tail end of that. That's what we'll see coming through tomorrow morning. So here's your hour-by-hour forecast. And looking at the temperatures from 63 to 64 degrees, we're going to be warm throughout the day tomorrow, starting out warm as well. So that's going to be the difference. Tomorrow morning, back to school, back to work, between 62 and 66 degrees. 66 along the coast, 62 inland with rain. So you keep those raincoats and umbrellas handy. And then by the time you get off from school or work, it's going to be even warmer, 74 to 68 to even maybe as high as 76 degrees. So just a very pleasant kind of day if it were not for the rain and the clouds. Other than that, it's fine. 60 to 70% chance for tomorrow. Then look what happens on Fat Tuesday. We get that clearing as that front comes through, still 72. But then Wednesday, Ash Wednesday, 54 for a high. Look at the temperature on Thursday morning. 32 degrees, 60 for the high. And this is what really is kind of unique. Barbecue cook-off, Go Texan Day, rodeo parade, sunny skies, no rain. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. That's going to beautiful 10-day forecast for you. And I'd say that's the kind of forecast that you want to, as I said, pay the meteorologist. It's one of those kind of days. I had some Facebook Live. We were talking about the washing the car. You wash the car on Tuesday, then you don't have to wash it again.
Car?
No. Wash the car on Tuesday, then you don't have to wash it all the way until next weekend.
The lines were long on Saturday and Friday. I couldn't go.
Wrong time.
Tuesday.
Wrong time. It's going to get wet tomorrow.
Okay.
We're looking for a form to pay the meteorologist.
Wait on Tuesday now.
That's right.
To pay and wash your car.
Handshakes.
As well. Thank you, Canberra. Sports Director Randy McElvoy joins us now. Spring training games underway for the Astros.
Yep, for the next 3 weeks in the regular season is going to arrive finally. Tried last night, but Mother Nature kind of got in the way. No issues today, though, out in Florida. We'll take you out to West Palm Beach. Astros, they need a fifth starter in that rotation today. Framber Valdez delivered his first statement against the Nationals, plus Dusty Baker's reaction coming up next.
Your eyes.
Baseball players just getting back into the groove of things as spring training gets underway.
Yeah, but one fan looked like he was already mid-season form, making a spectacular catch from the stands out in Florida. Take a look. After a foul ball came his way, the fan leaping into the air.
Nice.
There you go, grabbing it bare hands for a fantastic catch. No glove required here. Right after that amazing reach, the fan shot back to his feet, bowed for the cheering crowd.
Hey, sign him up, somebody.
I know, right?
He's got some guns. He can throw, he can catch, do everything probably. little replay.
Look at that, Ken. You've right regular season form right there.
Say, yeah, go get after it. All right, we'll sign the guy there.
All right, let's dive into, speaking of baseball, Astros active there in Florida. Welcome in. Let's get going on the Xfinity Sports Desk tonight. Here's what's happening in our quick look at sports ahead of Sports Sunday at 11 o'clock tonight. Start off with the Astros. Spring opener canceled last night after a couple innings when rain blew in, but today the Stros and Nationals, they met again in West Palm Beach. Pre-game, you kind of hate seeing this. Nationals showing off that World Series hardware they claimed over the Astros. Maybe this year we get it back. Meanwhile, on the bump today, left-hander Framber Valdez, he's got a good shot at earning this 5th starting spot in the rotation, and Valdez did his job, sending down 6 of 7 Nationals hitters he faced with 3 strikeouts. Tied at 1 in the 9th. It's only a spring training game, folks, but it's a walk-off for Brandon Snyder. Nats win it 2-1. After the game, this is more important. Dusty Baker, very impressed with what he saw in Valdez.
He had good command today, and he also, had good tempo, and he got a little behind, and then he's backed off the mound and regrouped. And like I said, that's, this is what he's going to have to do, because if he throws strikes, this guy has electric stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be a good competition, I think, over the next several weeks. Now, we just saw that great catch y'all showed by that fan in Port Charlotte, Florida. Another piece of video definitely worth a look comes from the BYU basketball game last night. Check it out, guys. One lucky student has sunk a pretty expensive bucket during a timeout. Yeah, took a half-court shot in that contest, ran up to the line in midcourt, sailed the shot through the air, and down it went. And this is the best part. The student lands in the crowd, hugs for everybody after making that basket. The reward, $8,000 for making that. They'll pay for some college tuition, right?
At least some of the books.
Look at that shot right there. Way to go.
Crowd goes
We've got a
wild.
lot more where that came from. Big show, Sports Sunday, 11 o'clock tonight. A lot to get into tonight.
All right.
See you then.
See you then.
Thank you.
All right.
A dog on the run with authorities hot on his tail. Coming up the North Texas airport that a Houston rescue is now calling home as police work to find him.
And Democratic candidates hitting the campaign trail following the Nevada caucuses, where Senator Bernie Sanders came out on top. Still to come, how they're preparing for the next primary and why some Democrats say they are worried about the new frontrunner facing off against President Trump if elected.
Live from KPRC, this is Channel 2 News at 10.
Breaking right now in North Harris County, violence at a flea market. 7 people have been rushed to the hospital after being shot.
Suspected robber on the run. The store police say he targeted, and a closer look at the picture they hope will lead to his arrest.
In final preparations being made tonight to honor Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and 7 other people killed in a helicopter crash in California. Ahead tonight, what we know about tomorrow's public memorial. But tonight, we continue to follow breaking news from North Harris County. That is where at least 7 people were injured in a shooting at a flea market.
It happened along Airline Drive near West Gulf Bank Road just after 8 o'clock tonight. Sheriff Ed Gonzalez tells us there was a dance inside the building there when a man carrying a gun claims that it accidentally went off. A bullet hit one man in the leg, went through and continued to ricochet, injuring 6 other people. The extent of their injuries are not known at this time, but the sheriff says none of them appear to be life-threatening.
Keep in mind that we're also children inside this location. It's a family-type dance, and it's just very, very lucky that no one was seriously injured or wounded. It appears that everybody's going to be able to recover from their shots.
Now, the sheriff tells us charges in this case are likely, but it's still too early to know. We will continue to follow developments in this breaking news story. As we learn more, we'll keep you updated here on air, on our website, click2houston.com, and throughout our social media pages.
New at 10 o'clock, Webster police on the hunt tonight for a suspect responsible for a gas station robbery last month. Investigators say it happened back on January the 20th at a gas station along West NASA Parkway near the Gulf Freeway. We're told the man entered the store and forced his way behind the cash register and demanded the clerk to unlock the safe along with that register. The suspect then ran away on foot with an unknown amount of cash. A reminder tonight to always be aware of your surroundings. A police officer out in Sugar Land patrolling the Clements Crossing neighborhood when he came across that right there. It's a coyote just having a grand old time in the middle of the subdivision. It can be seen rubbing its face in the grass and taking a stroll along the sidewalk. So far, though, no reports of it approaching people or pets. A stranger's kind actions moving a woman to tears and going viral tonight.
This after a mother in Alvin went to pick up her daughter's birthday cake to find it had already been paid for. Holly Grimey says she went to the grocery store to pick up the cake when the employees told her it was already paid for. The payment coming with a note written by a stranger saying her son would have been 8 years old today, the same age as the woman's daughter. The stranger wrote that she wanted to remember him by doing good for others.
How could you possibly think of a loss of a child? Like, I don't ever think of losing either one of my babies, ever. I can't imagine life without them. And I can't imagine how this mother must feel. And I would never think to go and do something good.
Holly says she has already passed on the kindness done by paying for someone else's birthday cake. Turning now to our weather, another dry day, but that is expected to change tomorrow.
Channel 2 meteorologist Cambrell Marshall, special guest appearance in the building tonight with all the details.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the extra money you're paying me to do this tonight. I appreciate that. 65 right now in Galveston, 64 Hobby, 61 Katy, 63. So temperatures are real nice and warm compared to what they could and should be this time of the year. Look outside the Town 2 studios. We still have 60s in Liberty, 60 in Cleveland, 66 in Brenham. So cooler temperatures are not anywhere around, really. Nice and warm, really, comparatively. The wind speed still continue to be 12, 17 miles an hour from the southeast. That's going to be the case until the final front moves through on Tuesday. Look at all what's going on to the north up in Kansas, the Wichita and Oklahoma City area. This is the broad area circulation, center of circulation right there. We're on the far end of that as all of this is going to be moving on out. Now, what's going to happen over the next 24 to 48 hours, this is what's going to come through tomorrow morning. 6 o'clock, showers. This is not going to be the heavy stuff. If it's going to be heavy, we'll see like yellows here. So just not very much in the way of rain. You see the yellows now well off to the east of us. By the afternoon, it's going to be moving off. We'll have clouds there. And then after that second front moves through on Tuesday, that's when we have clearing skies going on. So that's the trend. We're going to have a lot of sunshine. And over the next couple of days here, we have a little temperature difference here. Look what happens. 76 down to 50 to 72, down to 40 to 54, and then 32 on Thursday morning. So we're going to have those colder temperatures. Winter's not gone yet. 10-day forecast, how much rain we can expect and how much sunshine we're going to be basking in this next week. John?
We cannot wait. Thanks a lot, Cam. Remember, you can track the weather anytime you want by downloading Frank's free weather app. All you have to do is search for KPRC in your app store.
President Trump is on his way to India tonight, where he may see his biggest rally yet. The Prime Minister of India rolling out the red carpet during a two-day visit. Amidst the pomp and circumstance, leaders will discuss things like trade, energy, and defense spending. President Trump will also travel with the Prime Minister to his home region of the country, where they will appear before a crowd in a brand new cricket stadium. Prime Minister Modi visited Houston for a rally with President Trump back in September.
In the race for the White House, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders has cemented his status as a Democrats' front-runner after a resounding victory in the Nevada caucus. But some party moderates still fear he is too liberal to beat President Donald Trump in the general election. The race far from over, though, as candidates are still out campaigning. NBC's Jennifer Johnson has the very latest.
Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders already campaigning in delegate-rich Texas, one of 14 states with votes on Super Tuesday, March 3rd. Sanders looking ahead at the campaign's biggest prize after winning the Nevada caucus, surprising critics by grabbing votes across demographics.
In Nevada, we have just put together a multi-generational, multi-racial coalition which is going to not only win in Nevada, it's going to sweep this country.
Sanders now says he was informed about a month ago on Russians attempting to interfere in his campaign and President Trump's. The acting National Intelligence Director, Joseph Maguire, briefed Congress on Russia's meddling, but was ousted by the president Friday. His national security advisor denies there's evidence.
I haven't seen any intelligence that Russia is doing anything to attempt to get President Trump reelected.
Sanders believes he can beat President Trump, but moderates fear the self-described socialist liberal policies will scare off swing voters.
If you're voting for him because you think he'll win the election, because he'll galvanize heretofore sleepy parts of the electorate, then politically you're a fool.
Former Vice President Joe Biden and Pete Buttigieg finished a distant second and third in Nevada.
My job is to go in and make the best case I can, and I think we're going to do well.
Biden and Pete Buttigieg are hoping for a win in South Carolina, the next primary. Jennifer Johnson, NBC News, Washington.
Preparations are being made in Los Angeles tonight, where a celebration of life for Kobe and Gianna Bryant will take place tomorrow. They were both killed in a helicopter crash last month, along with 7 other people, including former UH baseball coach John Altobelli, his wife Carrie, and their daughter Alyssa. Kobe and Gianna will be remembered tomorrow afternoon at a memorial at the Staples Center. Ticket prices for the memorial range from $24.02 to $224. All proceeds will go to the Mamba and Mambacita Sports Foundation.
I fully expect that this is going to be an event that is going to be mournful. It's going to be one of condolences, a celebration of life.
I think the people of LA are going to come on top and give full respect for the family.
Now, the prices, along with the date of the event, 2/24/20, all in recognition of Kobe and Gianna Bryant's jersey numbers 2 and 24, as well as the 20 years Bryant played with the Los Angeles Lakers. The nation's space agency turning to the public for answers.
Yeah, the big new project some of the country's greatest innovators need your help with as they work to explore and learn more about our solar system.
And a rescue runaway in North Texas coming up. The new home this pup just wasn't ready to call home, and the days-long trail he's led police on.
This is home.
A dog who got loose at a Dallas airport last week is still on the run tonight. Video showing the dog darting across runways at Dallas's Love Field Airport just this weekend. The pup, named Duke, is a rescue from the Houston Animal Shelter. The woman who adopted him runs an animal rescue in Dallas and says he made his way out to the airport last week. He's even managed to evade capture ever since.
We decided to take him for a walk. He got loose and he ran. Within an hour, he ran from Uptown all the way to Love Field.
Oh my God.
And that was on Wednesday. So he's new to Dallas, and we make a joke of like, oh, he's going to hop a Southwest flight to Houston.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's trying to do, right? He's like, I know Southwest goes direct. It's going to take about 40 minutes, and I just got to get on the plane. Because Dallas ain't it for this puppy. All right, luckily, airport officials say Duke has not slowed down their airport operations. They're now using treats to try to track him down.
Get that pup back to Houston. Hey, an otherwise normal day in Connecticut had drivers yelling, "Move over," after state troopers were called after a dozen cows started blocking traffic there. The animals had broken free from a nearby pasture. Local ranchers helped troopers steer them back to safety, but not after a high-stakes pursuit.
Wow. Counted 4 puns there.
You got any more?
Nice.
Well done.
Oh, man.
The guy's running along the side.
Wow. Can't touch that. I know. Pretty good. Hey, you can touch this. Look at Tim Surratt's shot here. This is really, looks like spring already, doesn't it? It does. It does. And a lot of places, except for the trees are bare. Everything else looks very nice. We're going to see more of this as we move on because our temperatures are nice and warm. Here's Galveston. Things are slowed down quite a bit. The Strand is dying off right now. There's kind of waiting until Fat Tuesday to go ahead and get going again. 65 degrees there with east-southeast winds at 8 miles per hour throughout the area. We're still in the low to mid-60s, even at 10 o'clock. We're not going to go down very much tomorrow morning. Your morning lows are going to be right in those low 60s with that southeast wind, 12, 10 miles an hour throughout. Here's what's going on here. We have the wind that's from the south. It's going to be very warm ahead of this front, and this front's going to come through. Front's not going to really bring through really cold air. It's not like the normal fronts we get, but this is one that's going to come through, and it's going to slide on through warm and ahead of it tomorrow morning. And then after it moves on through, we've got this area in between. The clouds are sticking around. We don't have any real strong directional wind from the north, and that's when our temperatures are going to be nice and still moderate as well until this next front slides on through. When that does so, on late Tuesday, we start to see a little bit more of this colder air coming in. That's going to really blend in going into late Tuesday into Wednesday. We really see some high pressure settling in, plenty of sunshine, abundant conditions, cold mornings, not so warm afternoons for the middle of the week. Here's the Futurecast model looking at the temperatures, looking at the overnights going into tomorrow morning. Showers around 60s, mid-60s as well until that front moves on through. This is 11 o'clock. We still have some showers there, but the backside of that, we're in the 70s. And when this model wants to take us up to the mid to upper 70s, that's all 76, 77 degrees. Then Tuesday morning, similar kind of thing going on, but the clouds stick around until that next front comes through. Notice Tuesday night, we're at 60 degrees still, but then going into Wednesday morning, we're down into the 50s. Look at 54 is our high temperature for Wednesday. So that's the difference between then and now. We're still nice and warm. Now, rain amounts, not very much. This looks like it's going to be about a ½ an inch for all of the rain that happens on Monday into Tuesday. So not very much in the rain category at all, just inconvenient rain really. Exact track radar right now showing the showers that are well to our north. We'll start to see that tomorrow morning. Just get ready for a messy commute with inconvenient showers around. Temperatures are going to be nice and mild. And over the next 10 days, you notice the temperatures do that roller coaster thing. 76, 72, then 55. And the barbecue cook-off time with Go Texan Day and all the festivities going along with the rodeo are fabulous going forward there. So tomorrow morning, when you want to get up and see what the temperatures are like, well, it's going to be nice and warm, and you can turn to Britta Merwin to go ahead and get the update on what's going to be happening. 4:30 is when she'll start, and I'll be up. I'll be up watching. I hope you'll be up with me watching, Britta, won't you?
We'll be fast asleep. We'll admit it right now.
You're not even going to pretend.
I'll put you on the cut it.
Okay. There you go. Right. When we wake up finally.
Thanks,
we love her, though. Okay, sir.
Well, tonight, a very inspirational Sunday conversation. Next, how a man who grew up here in Houston became the first African-American to walk in space, and how he's inspiring others to chase their dreams.
This message.
After a trend started by JetBlue, United Airlines now increasing their baggage fees. The first checked bag for the airline is now $35 each way for domestic and short international flights, while the second bag will now run you $45. That is a $5 increase. You can avoid the jump, which goes into effect March 6th, by paying for your bags 24 hours in advance.
Looking towards the future of space, NASA is calling for all innovators and out-of-the-box thinkers for help on their next big project.
Yes, the space agency needs help creating an obstacle avoidance sensor for the first Venus rover. Now, the sensor would need to withstand temperatures over 800 degrees and be able to withstand a lot of pressure. And we mean a lot of pressure, like enough to crush a submarine with ease. Also, one of the problems, it cannot be electronic, since current state-of-the-art electronics can't work over 250 degrees. So if you've got something that fits the criteria and you want to enter it, or if you want to hear more, head to our website, click2houston.com.
Speaking of rovers, NASA is trying some new techniques to get its drill, dubbed the Mole, deeper into the ground on Mars. The space agency's now trying to push the drill down using the inside rover's arm, something NASA says could take several weeks, though. Officials hope the Mole will drill down 16 feet, where it can be used to read the planet's inner temperature. So far, the device hasn't gone much more than a foot.
We have a very special Sunday conversation tonight. It was 25 years ago that the first African-American astronaut took a walk in space. Today, Dr. Bernard Harris Jr. continues to inspire others to reach for the stars. I spoke to him about his time in space and how he's helping others achieve their dreams. Dr. Harris, Black History Month, so it's a good opportunity to call attention to some things that you've done through your life that are worthy of talking about. And I know your history. We've known each other for a long time. So I know that you as a boy watching up when you're out on the Indian reservation, being able to see those skies without city lights, you were able to see stars. Is that when you first got the inclination that you wanted to be an astronaut, or was it something before or after?
I think as a kid, I was fascinated with science, and especially space science. And so I was paying attention to what was happening in the space program, as we were sending men up into space. But it was that seminal moment was when Neil and Buzz landed on the moon, and for me, that was it.
Take me to the moment when you were opening the hatch to step out into space. And it was going to be, you trained for this for all of your life, really. I mean, you wanted to be an astronaut, but now you're trained for this. Do you still remember the thoughts that were going through your mind when that happened? Tell me about that.
Oh, yeah. Before we go out, we have to put on this spacesuit in a very confined area called an airlock. The suit weighs 350 pounds here on Earth. Of course, in space, it doesn't weigh anything. And we have to get in that suit, button up like we're about to go outside, but we're not going outside because we have to do a 4-hour pre-breathe where you're just sitting there breathing 100% oxygen, getting rid of the nitrogen. You probably heard of decompression sickness. It happens when you go into ocean and come up too soon. The same thing happens when you go into space. It's a difference in change in pressure that you have to be careful with. So once that was done and we got to go for the EVA, extravehicular activity, about that time, you look around at each other and say, okay, you ready? Yeah, thumbs up. And I remember when I opened up the hatch, and what I saw was incredible. We were flying upside down to the Earth. So if the Earth's down below, the hatch is pointing down to the ground, and the first thing you see is the earth, and it feels like you're falling. The only way I can describe it is like you step over a well, and not many people know what that is, but I'm old enough to know what a well. But you know, or stepping off a cliff. It's almost like that. And then the second was that was movement. The ship is going across the surface of the Earth at 17,500 miles an hour. So you get that sense of dizziness if you stare at it too long. And just a little funny side story, my colleagues, my medical doctors that are in mission control, they always like to see or monitor a rookie when he goes out for the very first time. And what they saw on their monitor was my heart rate going from 60 to 120 as soon as I opened up the hatch. It was an incredible view once we got outside to see not only the Earth as we're traveling around it, behind that was a sea of stars called the Milky Way galaxy.
I know that you spend your life now talking to young people to inspire them to do whatever they are capable of doing and what their heart tells them to do. Your message during Black History Month specifically about young kids of color who may believe that they're limited in what they're able to do. What do you tell them as a message of hope?
I tell them that as I'm standing before them that I am not only an astronaut, but I am a physician, a medical doctor. I tell them that I'm not only that, but I'm also a venture capitalist. I got in the business. And I tell them that all of those things came because of a dream that I had as a kid. And I back up and say to them that I'm not here, or I did not start at this place. I started below here. I grew up in the area called West Side here in Houston, Texas. Very poor area. It's now called the Heights. But if you're going back some 60 years ago, it was a very poor area. And not a lot of kids made it out of that area. And I was one of the lucky ones. And so I go through all of that to remind them that it doesn't matter where you start, is where you have your head, your goal set, your vision, your dream, and if you have the goal to accomplish those things, then you can do and be anything you want to be in life, which was the first message that my mother gave me.
Thank you, sir. Congratulations on everything that you've done so far. I look forward to the next chapter. There's still a lot more to come, I'm sure.
Me too.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Dr. Harris is committed to encourage students to pursue an interest in STEM education and is currently the Chief Executive Officer with the National Math and Science Initiative. To see this and other past Sunday Conversations, just go to the Sunday Conversation section of click2houston.com.
That was a good Sunday conversation. Thanks a lot for that, Cam Burrell. Speaking of, this guy is busy over here. Cam Burrell's got one more check of the forecast next.
Stay with us.
All right, welcome back. Sports Sunday's coming up next. Just 3 minutes away. We're all in studio with you tonight. We're going to have some fun. Rockets are locked in. They've got a couple of big wins out of the All-Star break already. We'll break down what's working and what's ahead with 26 left. Plus, look who's on the cover of the recent GQ magazine. We're talking Westbrook and Harden tonight. In West Palm Beach, Framber Valdez, very sharp in his spring debut today. Plus, how a few players are dealing with death threats from baseball fans. Tonight, one-on-one with U of H great Elvin Hayes as we celebrate Black History Month. And how Rice Owls sharpshooter Trey Murphy is right at home at the three-point line. Plus, what the Houston Roughnecks are saying about their 3-0 start in the XFL. Sports Sundays coming right up, guys. We'll see you then.
All right, Brandon.
Thanks,
we're having
Randy.
a tame Sion over here with the GQ cover. For a second, I thought it was
My
Cam
favorite
Burrell
players.
and I.
Yeah, I
What's
used to
wrong
look
with
like that.
My favorite Rockets players.
I know. You got to love that.
And the bandana.
You got to love that as well as you got to love the forecast for tomorrow. Hey, still nice and warm out there right now tonight. 63, 61, 65 degrees at Hobby and Galveston. See those showers well to the north. We're going to start to see that tomorrow morning. That's our shower activity tomorrow morning. A rush hour is going to be a little wet. Be ready for that. Be out of here by the afternoon. The clouds are going to linger, though, with some peaks of sunshine. Look at these temperatures. They're going to be warm tomorrow morning. You're going to like that. And then for the week ahead, we got plenty of sunshine after Tuesday. Be ready for it.
Thanks a lot, Cam Burrell.
And thank you for joining us.
Sports Sunday is next. You have a great evening, friends.